Hello and welcome to my channel. Something happened this weekend that I really identified with, and so I wanted to make a quick video about it. Basically what happened is that Lizzo, the singer, flute player, TikTok superstar extraordinaire, she released her new album. Well, no, the first single from her new album, and it's like the first music that she's released in, I think, 3 years. And Cardi B is on the song. It's a song called Rumors. And I have, as of right now, heard the song about 2 times. I'm sure I will listen to it more. From what I remember, okay, I'm getting the tune in my head right now. I need to listen to it some more. But I like the song. The only reason why I haven't listened to it more is because it's been a busy weekend, and when I first listened to it, I was like driving and I just wasn't paying attention. But when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is traditional Lizzo. And like, I like it. I like Cardi B's verse on there. I liked it. And I wasn't alone. A lot of people liked the song, but a lot of people did not. And unfortunately, instead of just listening to it and deciding, it's not for me, they attacked her on social media. They made fun of her body. They made fun of her as a Black woman for the fact that her music was not Black enough. They attacked, they attacked her. I'm not sure of exactly what was said because I don't, I guess, hang out in the corners of the internet where people are saying and doing these things. But I do know that on Sunday afternoon, so that was yesterday, she got on her Instagram live and she made this video.
Like, I worked so hard. I've been working triple time, like quadruple time. It's like doing like 12 hours a day of promos and interviews, doing studio. I've gotten a root canal twice and gone to the studio and recorded music, wrote songs. I'm in rehearsal. I'm filming every single day, shooting documentary. I'm still writing music. I'm putting so much loving energy into the world. And bro, sometimes I feel like the world just don't love me back. It's like it doesn't matter how much positive energy you put into the world, you're still gonna have people who have something mean to say about you. And for the most part, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't care. I just think when I'm working this hard, my tolerance gets lower. My patience is lower. I'm more sensitive. And it gets to me.
I'm gonna tell you, when I first saw the video, I was like, oh, I can't watch that all the way through because I know how I am. I will cry. But before I made this video, I said, you've gotta watch it. You have to. And I probably stopped crying maybe like 15 minutes ago. That's being generous, about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I wanted to get on here and just talk about the creative curse, which is the fact that you have to deal with trolls. And it would be different if, you were just dealing with people who were like, oh, it's not for me. It's not really my, but the thing about a troll is they're never comfortable with just stating it's not for them, or just blocking you, or just not listening, or just letting your app or whatever know, hey, this user's not for me. A troll has to always stay present. A troll has to always make sure they are right there in your purview so they can consistently and continuously remind you that you've done something to make them angry. So let's go back to Lizzo and unpack this a little bit more. So basically, before she came out with this new song, like I said, she hadn't released anything in 3 years. And I think that in and of itself is scary for an artist or for a content creator, because when you haven't made something in a while, you don't know if your fans will come with you on this new venture. You never know. You have no security on that. So I think it is the very nature of art to want to evolve and people to want to grow. And I think artists in general, they tend to have many, many different things that they can offer an audience. But a lot of the times what's true is that people fall in love with you for one thing. And then that's the thing they want to remember you by, no matter how much you try and stretch and grow and change. And the only artist I can think of, and I'm being completely honest, that I feel like she can do anything and her fans will go with her is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has dominated like the charts and whatever else for the last 20 something years. Well, that's too long. She's not even, is she that old? She's 30, 31, whatever. The point is that I can remember like her first song I think came out in like 2005 or something like that. And I can remember finally deciding I liked her music with the album Red that came out in 2012. So she'd already been out for like 7 years before I was like, okay, sure. And then from there, I can remember I loved 1989. I think the only album maybe that her fans didn't like come with her on as readily was the Reputation album. I think that wasn't as much of a, people didn't talk about that one as much. I could be wrong though. I only sort of tangentially know about Taylor Swift. But I do know that with this Evermore situation, these albums that Folklore, Evermore, and whatever else that she released during quarantine, oh my God, it was like it was 2005 all over again. She was everywhere. What I also think is cool about her is you have people who are diehard Taylor Swift fans who are my age, and then you've got like Olivia Rodrigo, who flipped out when Taylor said, hey, driver's license was pretty cool. Olivia Rodrigo is 18 or 19. Whatever. So I think that speaks for itself, that she has fans that cross generations and her fans are still into her new music. You could talk about Lady Gaga, but even she had a flop era where people were like, we don't really know about the music. And then that led her, I think, to doing more films. And I think she's a great actress. You could even talk about, and I think a lot of artists have had that where they're making music and it's great. And then they go in a different direction and their fans don't come with them. So that's a big part of anxiety when it comes to making content and wanting to put your stuff out there. And so I remember that Lizzo like made a TikTok where she was talking about, oh, I haven't released a song in like 3 years. Oh Lord, and it can be a nerve-wracking thing. And I think also, even if your fans do come with you, even if they're like, sure, we'll listen to this, the haters come too, right? The people that have always been looking for you to slip or fall, they come too, which is something I can resonate with because I think I was birthed into the internet's consciousness on the heels of a tricky content area and subject matter. Like, it definitely wasn't something that left me revered and loved by a lot of people. Some people it did, some people it didn't. But every video I upload, I notice this, I'm definitely going to get those downvotes. And I go and I look at other creators and I look at their videos and I look at their subject matter and I'm like, whoa, what they're talking about is way more volatile or wild than what I was talking about. But I think the difference between them and me is probably their audience grew like over time, slowly, it was curated and it was based on people knowing and being familiar with them in general versus people becoming familiar with me with one thing and then making sure they stuck around to dislike every other thing I made. But anyway, that's a different topic. And actually, in my next video, I'm gonna address my trolls. And I think it's an interesting way. I could lose all my subscribers when I do it, but we'll see. But anyway, so when you make new content, your fans could come, but also the haters can come, and they will come. And they came for Lizzo. And like you saw earlier, it broke her down. And, people came to her defense. People who are also used to trolls, like Chloe Bailey came to her defense. And I've talked about Chloe Bailey here before. She's a young girl who used to be on the Disney Channel with her sister Haley, who's going to be the new, or Hallie. I don't know how to say anyone's name or how old anyone is today. It's really ridiculous. But they were on the Disney Channel, and were they in Tyler Perry movies? Or was it just Disney Channel? we knew them as children. Okay. And so then she comes out and she's really coming into her own as a young woman. And part of her identity and part of how she wants to present herself is she's very in tune with like the sexual side of her expression. And I don't think that that's terrible at all. But a lot of people, they range from thinking that she shouldn't be doing that because she's a good Disney girl to it's too much, put yourself away, stop it. I don't think you should police people's expression if it's not hurting anybody, but whatever. The point is that Chloe Bailey came to her defense. Cardi B came to her defense. And Cardi B brought up a wonderful point. She was like, I'll let you see the tweet here, but she just brought up great points about how nuanced trolling really is and how many different ways somebody seeks to attack someone when a lot of times what they're saying and what they're doing has nothing to do with the person's content. It's just they have decided not to like you. And so everything you do, they're going to rip it apart. One of the things that Lizzo was attacked for, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm not sure, is that her music wasn't Black enough. And that by releasing this new song and the music that she releases, she's a mammy who's pandering to white audiences. And so I loved how Lizzo responded to this.
I make music that I like, that's important to me. And I make music that I hope helps people. Period. I'm not making music for white people. I'm not making music for anybody. I'm a Black woman making music. I make Black music, period. I'm not serving anyone but myself. Everyone is invited to a Lizzo show, to a Lizzo song, to this good energy. Everyone's invited.
I think that that's what made me tear up again. Like, I was good. Like, I had started tearing up with her when I was watching the video. And then when she said that, I teared up again because I do think that so many times the Black identity, like, we're policed. We have to stay in a box that you can only do. And a lot of it comes from us. And, any kid who grew up being called an Oreo or whatever else, like, you can attest to this. And I think it happens in a lot of communities of color. I know that there's not just Oreos. I know there's coconuts. There's all these other pejorative names that people use for this idea that you are one way on the outside, but on the inside, you seek to escape yourself and to, go over to the other side and only pander to them. I mean, Lizzo was called, I think she was called a mammy. Just horrible things. And what I hate about that is those people are so blind to the fact that her ability to reach across and to create art for a wide variety of people is her strength. It's what makes her such a great artist. And I don't know her personally, but such a great person. That ability to say, hey, I can make music for everybody. Everybody's invited to my party, because I think ideally, as human beings, that's how we want to be, no matter what the color of our skin is. And I love that she said, look, I'm a Black woman. And so I'm always going to be making Black music because it's coming from a Black person. But I just don't think, I think when people are trying to look to disregard you or bring you down, they're not thinking expansively. They're thinking minutely. They're thinking as small as they possibly can. And that's the thing about trolls, right? It's the small thinking cowards who sit outside. They're sitting outside of the process. They're sitting outside of the production. They're sitting outside of the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears that goes into creating. And they're sitting outside sort of with their fangs glistening, just looking for a moment to tear you down. And so I think it was important that she climbed on to Instagram and she was just open about the fact that this is breaking my heart today. Like, you wanted to see me, you wanted to see what you could do to me, here you go. But then Lizzo, much like myself, and somebody gave me a hard time for this once, they were like, she's so negative, and then tries to be positive at the end. Whatever. And I think that that's important though, right? Lizzo, in her video, and I'm gonna link it below if you didn't see the Instagram live, but in her video, she says, I strive for joy every day. But within that striving for joy, there are valleys of sadness. And I just can't stay there too long. And when I'm there, I have to acknowledge it. I have to acknowledge when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel like, she goes through a lot of emotions in this 12, 13 minute video. But I have to acknowledge it, because if I don't, I can't be the best for the people who are trying to be their best for me. And So she ends the video on an up note, and she basically says, I'm never gonna create the art that you think I should create. I'm going to be myself.
I'm not gonna do what y'all want me to do ever. So get used to it. But what I will do is make great music and be a great artist and continue to uplift people and uplift myself.
So I love that she just resigns to be herself above all. And I also love the fact that she said, I do this for women who look like me.
But what I won't accept is y'all doing this to black women over and over and over again, especially us big black girls. When we don't fit into the box that you want to put us in, you just unleash hatred onto us. It's not cool. I'm doing this shit for the big black women in the future who just want to live their lives without being scrutinized.
And in that vein, it's not just the adults, it's the kids too. Last night, I saw this on TikTok. The babies are watching. They're always watching. And they're thinking to themselves, I want to do. Is there anybody like me that has done? I know I remember being there. I can remember being a little kid and saying, oh, I want to, but is there anybody that looks like me out there who's done it? And when you don't see it, when you don't have that kind of representation, it can keep you from moving forward. And so what I think is so phenomenal about Lizzo is she's going to keep moving forward. And in doing so, be that representation for the littles that are watching. So again, clearly I need to hear rumors. Again, I don't know it. But I'm of the mindset that I still love and respect Lizzo as an artist because she is the type of person who's going to be herself, her full self. And that's what I respect. And she's going to do it in spite of creative anxiety, in spite of what people may or may not be interested in that she has to produce, and in spite of trolls who will never attempt what she has, and their lack of attempt, their cowardice, that's what makes them completely invalid. I'm off to listen to rumors. Maybe I'll actually memorize what's being said, so I don't try and sing it like I sang it at the beginning of this video, because that was terrible. Thanks for watching.